Yo guys, Theo here. So we're here on day 3 of my Easter fast. I just had my last sauna and dip in here for this trip, and I did actually go for one last sauna session last night to help me sleep. Like, so I had third. It was the third, but I had 3 yesterday, and I slept surprisingly good. I forgot to tell you about yesterday, but I slept like 5-6 hours. I think, you know, optimally you always want to get more than that, even on a fast, but it's harder on a fast. So I would say 5 to 6 hours is like okay, you can be pretty happy with that. I would have been happy with that today, but somehow I managed to sleep for 8 hours, so feeling pretty great. Okay, so we're 65 hours in now, so not much left. We're gonna travel to this island, smaller island on the other side. It's called Fårö, Sheep Island, and the sheep is like the symbol for Gotland. They have lots of sheep here. Yeah, and we'll see some like landscapes that you might have seen if you've watched like landscapes from Sweden, famous places. You might have seen this place called Langhammar. Yeah, but we'll do that, and then I'll go take the ferry home, and I will be bringing some food on the ferry, and maybe buy something too. But yes, see you at Langhammar for now. Mot Fårö. So this is obviously a location for fishing. Something that would be fun to do right now. I've done it a lot when I was younger, but no time for that, unfortunately. The next stop. Sudersand was my favorite place to go on Gotland Fårö as a kid. It's very beautiful. It's hard to believe that this is Sweden, actually. Okay, so done with today's nature exploration. Only yeah, like 3 hours until I break the fast. We're soon gonna leave for the ferry, or I'm gonna take the ferry. My rest of the family are gonna stay another day. But yes, so I feel like I don't have to show you the way there. So next time you see me, I will be breaking the fast on the ferry. I bought a jar of pickles that I'm gonna start with. I'm just looking forward to it so much. It's always what I crave the most on a fast. You know, I get not surprised, but it's always when you haven't fasted in a while, it's like surprising that you can go from eating big, training hard, like for days and days, like intermittent fasting, 8-hour eating window, many of those days, but how easy it is for me to do this. Like, I can't remember if it used to be this easy, but I'm like I'm not even slightly tempted to break the fast. Of course, I like when you smell food, it's like that would be good, but don't get any thought, like, you know, that kind of when you have an addiction or something, when you start to bargain with yourself, like, could I skip the la. So it just doesn't happen. So easy, and the time just flies by. Well, okay, see you on the boat when I bite into my first pickle. The sun decided to pop out for a bit here. and I'm early to the ferry, so just soaking some in. And the good thing is with the timing of this boat, like basically as soon as it departs, I can delve into my pickles. I also have salmon and potatoes. So with the potatoes, the potassium is covered. With the pickles, obviously the sodium. I have some orange juice. Yeah, it's gonna be a good refill. What I'm really looking forward to, as I always do these days when I fast, is the pickles. Here they are. Alright guys, it's time. Pickles, orange juice. What do you even call it? You know, like salmon roe. It's not salmon, but roe sauce from another fish. Salmon, potatoes, some broccoli. Yeah, here we go. Too good. I'll talk to you after this. Finish the other food, and now some of this. It's like a stew with mashed potatoes. I tried to, it's högrev, Swedish. I tried to Google it. It says chuck steak, cut of beef, and is part of the subprimal cut known as the chuck. Alright guys, I'm back home. Gonna finish off my refeed with some ribeye and some white rice. Also gonna make some mushroom sauce. Alright guys, so I'm gonna eat this along with some raw beef liver on the side. The last orange juice from that bottle, and then I'll round off the video with you guys. Alright guys, I just finished that meal, and now let's round off this Easter fast by talking about the title of this video, how to break a fast. I don't think it's that complicated, to be honest, unless you haven't done a super long fast, like more than a week, or a dry fast, where you kind of turn into a raisin, you know, and in those cases you might want to go slow, start with some fluids, something, you know, easy and with a lot of water in it, like some fruits, stuff like this. But if you've been fasting for 3 days like this, like, why would it matter? You know, I've never like done the small, you know, started out with some fruit. I've done these big meals, just regular food, and I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Okay, so let's talk about how to break a fast. Like, obviously you don't want to do it with junk food. Like, you should stay away from junk food most of the time, but I can just see, I have never broken a fast with junk food. I barely eat junk food. I have some cake if it's someone's birthday, that's basically it. But like, because I had it on my mind, we were close to this many words recently that I don't really can think about in English, but like where they make pastries, like cinnamon buns and all these kinds of things. Like, we drove by a place where I used to buy chocolate balls there as a kid, and I loved them. You know, a chocolate ball, I could probably, if someone offered me at the right time a very good one, like not something processed, like it's something that someone has baked, you know, I might have a chocolate ball. But anyways, I started thinking about it, like, because I was soon breaking the fast, and I could just see myself, if I had something like that could trigger you to overeat so much. And it are these things that are high sugar, high fat. That's the dangerous things, you know, because it's very calorie dense and low satiety. You won't be full for long, and probably want more. And this is the kind of foods, the diet they feed mice when they want to make them fat for studies. So obviously, like, take the opportunity to enjoy just real regular food much more. This is what I've done, you know. I've never been a big like, I ate a lot of junk food and some, you know, candy, sweets and stuff. That wasn't my main thing that I, you know, was like addicted to. But like, I did have cravings for those kinds of things when I started getting into this better lifestyle. And so I think the fasting is really what, you know, turned that off. Before I got into fasting, I felt like I was like, I've said sustain, I think, refraining from stuff that I really, you know, longed for a bit. Doing these prolonged fasts and just enjoying regular food so much on the refeeds have really, that's what, like, it's so easy. I don't even think, it's not an option for me to have those things. But so the other thing, you might notice that I have eaten very high carb today. I would estimate, I didn't count calories or anything, but I would estimate I had something like 3,500 calories and probably like between 300 and 400 grams of carbs. And this is just something because I'm kind of an athlete, you know. I will be cutting some now, but I've been fasting for some days. I want to kick my body back into performance mode. I want to get that muscle glycogen back, be ready to just, you know, rock in the gym. So that's why I had that whole bottle. It was 85 centiliters of orange juice. I had half on the boat and half here. I wouldn't have that much juice in a day, like a regular day. I'll have one glass or two with a meal, like a smaller glass, like 20 centiliters, 20, 25. But now, today, you know, carbs are important for someone like me. But of course, if you are more overweight or sedentary, you should probably stick to lower carb. To be honest, carbs are for athletes or for performance. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with carbs that they are bad, but you just don't need them really if you don't train that hard or move that much, you know. So not that you can't have any carbs, you should have some fruits and stuff, but you should stick with lower carbs. But then obviously just foods that address micronutrients, like potatoes I had with potassium. There's potassium in red meat too, but lots of potassium in the potatoes. Sodium, like I salted the meat and the rice now, but I had those pickles. Like obviously with my experience, I don't know this for sure, but my experience with drinking electrolytes on the fast is that they help, but it's like they don't stick to you as much when they don't come with calories, with something else. So you will still, that's why, you know, it helps so I don't get a headache or anything, but I still crave those pickles a lot because still, I think you still lose some electrolytes. And that's why you have to keep drinking throughout the day, because you lose them faster. You don't hold on to them as well when it doesn't come with food. No, and just eat clean foods. Like salmon is great, more magnesium and the fatty acids, again, omega-3s. The liver, I'm not even gonna just Google beef liver, like everything is in there. The B vitamins, the zinc, iron from the red meat. That's what I'm thinking, you know, because obviously you will probably not get like a dangerous deficiency from a 3-day fast, but you want to get back on track with your micronutrients as fast as possible. I would also say, I said I probably ended up around 3,500 calories. I would say that would be, if I ate that way daily, especially now in the winter when I'm not walking as much, just, you know, I still train hard, but I just don't, my expenditure will be a little lower. So that would be a surplus for me. I would gain weight if I kept eating that every day, but it's again, just jumpstart my metabolism, kick my body back into performance mode. And I would recommend, if you're on a weight loss, like, it depends on how aggressive you're going to be with your fasting and stuff, of course, but you should probably, again, eat lower carb and not go over your maintenance calories. Because if you're not training hard, like, you don't have to think like I do there, like kick the body back in that way. So yeah, I think that's what I have to say about how to break a fast. It's not that big of a deal. As you should always do, enjoy the junk food, eat micronutrient dense foods. If you're someone who wants to perform, an athlete who trains a lot, go high carb, a little surplus if it was something you did every day, you know. Stick with lower carb and maintenance or below if you're gonna be losing weight. Yeah, so thank you everyone who followed me through this fast. We'll see, now I told you this was the start of a cut. We'll see, you know, how I do this week. I'm very, very much looking forward to getting back in the gym. I've been thinking about it. I did enjoy this fast, it was so easy, so I might even do more fast, but more like 48s probably. But I haven't fully decided. You know, I'm gonna tell you obviously when I figured it out. So please like the video. Please leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm. It will help other people get here, so you can say anything. You say something. You know, Erica, you gave me a thumbs up last video. That was great. You know, that's all you have to do. Of course, if you have some input, please do that too. And please subscribe to the channel, and yeah, thank you for this time, guys. I'll see you. Peace.